the Russell Scott Day radio show in which I read my feeds. I'm reading from Facebook today, and first thing to notice is it's Father's Day. What's on your mind? Well, what's on my mind is energy. Energy security through renewables for North Carolina and the world. I am attempting to influence the university leadership working with new systems, utilizing hog waste and chicken waste and horse waste and straw. Some of those systems I'm aware of because of Oblatuna Bosan Obayan. It's Obayan. He's from Nigeria. He's an inventor and TED Talk guy. I guess he became that. I've known him from CR4, of which you know I was banished. And I'm happy about it. After I discovered that it was Henry Roberts that created Robert's Rules of Order, I was redeemed. John Roach puts up Coalition to Stop Gun Violence. Susie Jackson was born in the 1920s. She lived through Jim Crow. She lived through the Civil Rights Movement. She made it to the age of 87 when a 21-year-old white supremacist killed her in church. The NRA thinks it was her fault for not carrying a gun. Well, you know, you just don't know. Every time, a lot of the time, when I needed a gun, I'd left it in a safe place where I wouldn't be subject to arrest for carrying it. Last time being run out in traffic in Greensboro because I was in the wrong neighborhood and a guy threatened to kill me, and I ran into traffic and I was able to hail down a taxi cab. My pistol was in the hotel room where I was living. There was a while as I transitioned that I lived in a hotel, and I had a pistol, but it was really too big to carry around much. What you need is a Derringer. You never know when you're going to get attacked, and usually a gun is not, you know, everybody asks you about it, and then they want to know if you're crazy for having one. Nutcases are never asked if they're, you know, it seems like they sure get away with carrying them around and doing stuff we don't think is of civilized. I see the regard and respect for the Confederacy as misguided and ignorant. Labor needs to get together, black and white, because they're in the same boat. Stop this racial conflict, direct their rage as labor against corporatists and elitists and those who want to really return to an era of slave labor. This is from Doug LeClaire. I don't know anything about Jerry Richardson, owner of the Carolina Panthers, anything about his reputation or how the Panther fans feel about him, but the New York Daily News reports he and the Panthers have sent a check for $100,000 to the families of the victims of this awful massacre in South Carolina to cover their funeral and related costs. $10,000 to the AME Church. He writes, "That's just outstanding to me." Doug's a very good guy. I've known him a long time. I did a lot of work in New York with him. and I appreciate his news. This is news to me. Robert Reich writes, your responses to our video urging the president to update overtime rules have apparently had an effect. I hear the rules will be changed this week, a fitting Father's Day gift for millions of working dads, as well as a gift to millions of working mothers and for millions without kids. A victory for higher wages. People benefiting from low wages are finding that they're not necessarily benefiting. I've read reports that say that even those at the top are seeing a 6% reduction in their profits, or the money they got available to them. It's misguided and stupid to treat people unethically. That's just the bottom line. Fairness in the face of corruption can sometimes just be defeated. In the end, it's the people with power wanting to figure out how to do something, how to change things, instead of figuring out how not to and acting in fear. It really hurts us. I really can't shake A Distant Mirror by Barbara Tuchman. I would recommend it. Too much is familiar worldwide. The United States is grasping for the power as a government of governments. I think it's just a reach too far, moving a lot of stuff over into the Pacific theater when we've got an Atlantic theater. If we don't have killer subs in the Atlantic, or killer subs on guard in the Pacific, Northern Pacific, we could really suffer if war breaks out in Central Europe, which is highly possible. Depends a little bit on whether Russia buys off the Greeks and wrecks NATO's unity. It would basically kind of destroy NATO if Greece is bought off by Russia, leading to end of sanctions and opening the door for them to take over the landmass that they want. So they have a land access directly to the Crimea that they took over. And all that was because the Ukrainians were so weak, because their leadership had gotten corrupt. Corruption and war keep people poor. I deserve $250,000 a year to tell you that. At least some people got it that way. What a disgrace and waste of our power John Edwards turned to be. A sad case and a waste. Such a disastrous senator. You know, he was on the Senate Intelligence Committee too. Charles Cotton, a National Rifle Association board member, writes that Clementi C. Pickney, pastor of Charleston Church, who died in the shootings there earlier this week, and was also a South Carolina state legislator, voted against concealed carry. 8 of his church members who might be alive if he had expressly allowed members to carry handguns in church are dead. Innocent people died because of his position. That is pretty sick, really, when you think about it. Like I said, I mean, carrying a pistol is a lot of work, and not a lot of people are really up for it. I really, myself, don't want people in Transcendia, my model country, who aren't trustworthy carrying weapons. Certainly in an airport environment, a national environment for where I intend that it'd be the safest place possible. people of my airport all need to be trustworthy with weapons. Now, that does take training, and some people just need to be able to at least carry, we need to understand, police tell me they're just garbage men. They get there and pick up the pieces. You need to actually think about your own individual defense, and I do recommend pepper spray at the very minimum. My wife has it. I gave it to my mother. You know, I myself can't fight or run anymore. So caught in a parking lot at the wrong time, I would be pretty well, depending on sword in my cane, or pepper spray, or a pistol, or my pistol. And I have worn it during the day. It's a lot of trouble. What we need is into the war on drugs that make hate war, that drives so much of the availability or need for guns, because people who are doing business in that, as is known in the old prohibitions, don't have access to the police to protect them. So they kill each other. And we get in the way. Honest people tend to get in the way of a lot of people. Honest working people just tend to get in the way. They're supposed to just be docile and let everybody run over them. And Union soldiers are the ones I like to honor. They really had it rough. Wait lists for veterans are even longer than they were a year ago. That's a headline. Taylor Swift tells off Apple in an awesome open letter. She always inspires a certain kind of something out of me. Like sympathy. Somehow she just looks like she needs my sympathy. That's a problem with the TPP as far as why I might even be for it, because I am for the protection of intellectual property rights. I don't know how much of it's justified. A lot of what has happened has been a lot of countries in the world have used the United States and sort of existed in this free riders, or they're the free riders. You saw it in Microsoft's, you know, distribution of computer program software for $3. It cost everybody else here about $150. You know, the American worker has long been so impacted that paying for the losses that they gain looking good, giving it away someplace else, don't work for us. Huckabee's trying to defend that one racist lunatic doesn't mean the Confederate flag is problematic. This stupid son of a bitch. It is. It is about the Confederacy and all it stands for. Here, good. Somebody's... activists spray-painted Black Lives Matter on a Confederate statue in Charleston. Good. I'm pretty happy about it. Here is a picture of it. You know. So thank you very much. This has been my radio show from Russell Scott Day. I am the Intendor towards a U.S. Senate seat from North Carolina. I ended up working class, librarian of work, and a creative economist who invented the Insuro dollar. Thank you very much.